This is what I want you to get in your mind. So you are the master franchisor. You must become the master franchisor. That means your job is to prove the system right. Prove the 3 cycles right yourself. Prove that it works. It's more important that you prove that it works than it is that you get other people to do it first. I want to say that again. It's more important that you prove that it works consistently than it is that you get other people to do it. Some people get that order wrong. They're so caught up in getting other people to do it, but they're not consistently proving that it works themselves. When you get that order right and you spend most of your focus proving that it works yourself, you'll automatically have other people come in and they'll be inspired. They'll be inspired to do what you're doing. They'll want to know, what is it that you're doing? How are you doing this? Because what I'm doing is not working. How are you doing this? So become the master franchisor yourself. That's when you go from following the system to owning it, like living it. Like you are the master copy now. So as think about a photocopy. If you take a master copy and then you put it in the copy machine, it makes copies, right? But if you don't copy the master, let's say you make a copy and then you make a copy of the copy, and then you make a copy of the copy of the copy, the picture starts to get so diluted, you can't even read what is on there because you didn't use the master. So you always go back to the master copy to master the system. So whoever created the system and proved it is the master franchisor. You want to become a franchisee, like you start following the system, then you start teaching the system, you become a franchisor, and then you become the master franchisor yourself. That's the flow. You want 3 levels. So then you are now the master franchisor. You find your 5 or so, whatever that number is for your company to go to the top. You find your 5, and then you help them find their 5. And now you got that mystical term called duplication happening. And let me pause right there. What do you all take away from this? What's making sense to you about this? Did anybody have a breakthrough or a light bulb that just came on with that part? If so, let's hear it.
For me, it's that I need to be the example. I need to lead from the front. I need to show that it's profitable and worth their time and worth them duplicating, and they should be inspired by me.
Yes, yes, yes. Anybody else?
Yeah, for me, a lot of people think in this industry it takes a lot of people, but you just show right there, and we don't need to take that for granted. So that's what I got out of it.
Yes, sir. And I'll tell you my real story. Just in the past 12 months or so, in just a moment here. Who else? Anybody else? Got it? If you got it, put got it. Okay. So that's one look, is to realize you want to duplicate on 3 levels. I am the master franchisor. Say that to yourself. I am the master franchisor. Put that in the comments. I am the master franchisor. So you perfect the model. You perfect the model yourself. You prove it. And part of proving it, you're working the cycle. That means you have new people coming in. That means you're also getting practice. As new people come in, you're getting practice. Now, this may sound strange or weird, but understand some people, you know, the first 100 people that join your team are practice. The first 50 to 100 people that join your team are practice. Now, those who are hungry and really serious, they're going to stick around and go to the top because they want to. Because they want to. And they see you modeling the system. But I want you to relax a little bit when it comes to those 50 to 100 people that come on board. Sometimes we get so caught up in people that quit and their purpose wasn't to stay. There's an old phrase that says people come into your life for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. You don't have much control over that. What if you don't have a control over that? All you have control over is you doing you leading by example, you pursuing your dreams and goals, you building the best relationships you can, you being the best sponsor as you can, which means getting better. It doesn't mean being perfect. There's no such thing as that. 21 years, I'm still getting better. There's things I forget to do that I remember to do, things that I stop doing that I start doing, things that I stop doing. You're always going to be constant improvement as a leader. That's why we have daily leadership development, right? And so it doesn't matter how good or bad you are in the beginning. It matters that you're getting better every day. And so instead of being seeing it as a negative thing that people have come into your business and quit, or come into your business and went to the witness protection program or didn't grow, understand that most of the people that come into your business, the blessing to them is that you've given them a chance, you've given them an opportunity. The system is there, the opportunity is there. And the blessing to you is that you get to practice. You get to practice with them so that when the people come who are ready, you've already proven the system. Doesn't that change your perspective of people who come in and don't do much? It's an opportunity for you to practice, for you to grow, practice leadership, to practice the meeting cycle with them, to practice the recruiting cycle with them, and to practice the leadership development cycle with them. Feel free to comment if you have any comments or questions. So those are the 3 levels of duplication. By the way, the first level, in my mind, the first level pays $500 to $1,000 a month or more. As the master franchiser, I'm proving the system right by making $500 to $1,000 a month or more in my business model. The second level, when I start to find my 5 or more franchisees and I help them duplicate the same 3 cycles, they start making $500 to $1,000 a month. That forces me to $500 to $1,000 a week. So the first level of duplication pays me $500 to $1,000 a month or more. The second level of duplication pays me $500 to $1,000 a week or more. And the third level of duplication, when I help my 5 find their 5, that pays $500 to $1,000 per day or more in overrides, passive income, leveraged income. So there's rewards, because sometimes you feel like, man, this is taking long, or people aren't catching on yet. You got to remember, you're getting paid big bucks. You're getting paid wealth, leverage, residual, generational wealth for this. Okay, another picture of leadership. This is now my real recent story.
Coach, I think you're frozen.
It pays 6 figures and beyond.
Can you repeat that? You froze for a bit.
Okay, how about now? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So what, post in the comments, how many lines of sponsorship, if this is you, how many legs or lines of sponsorship do you need to get to a 6-figure level or beyond? Minimum. And my business is 4. Okay. So some people, it could be 2, it could be 6, it doesn't matter. You just need, what matters is that you know the number. So let's say, so here's what is real life for me. To get to 6 figures and beyond, I need 4. To get to 7 figures and beyond, I can do it with 4, or I can do it with 12 to get to $1 million a year. I'm on a mission. My company has 12 rings, and the 12th ring is $1 million plus per year. To do what I've been put on this earth to do, I need over $1 million a year to fund it. To provide the lifestyle I want to provide for my family, my son, my significant other, my dreams, to fund my calling, I need over $1 million a year. So It was never a question of if I was going to do it. It was a question for me of where I was going to do it. And when I was divided, I wasn't given full focus to either vehicle, whether it was my coaching business or my network marketing business. In 2020, coming into 2020, I drew a line in the sand and said, I'm going to focus now on doing it through my network marketing business. 2019, the year before that, I'd experienced my first, my biggest month ever in my coaching business, which put me in the range of what it would be like to earn $1 million a year. And I had my first $70,000 month in my coaching business. I need 84,000, rounded up to $85,000 a month to make $1 million a year. And I got a taste of that. And I went, wow, totally doable here in my coaching business with the strategies that I put in place. But then I realized, man, so am I going to go all the way with my coaching business and keep my network marketing business on autopilot on the side, kind of maintaining it? Or am I going to swap that and make my network marketing business my main focus and put my coaching business on the side as kind of the main thing? John C. Maxwell taught us, you try to chase two rabbits, both will escape. And that doesn't mean you can't have more than one business. My mentor, the great late Paul J. Meyer, had 43 companies, successful businesses, but not all at the same time. He didn't build them all at the same time. He built one, got that solid, built another one, got that solid, another one, etc. And he found great presidents and CEOs to run his businesses. He said, I'm the founder of a gazillion companies, but the president of none. None of them. He didn't consider himself the president or CEO of any of them. He's the founder. He finds presidents. You are the same. You're the owner. You're finding CEOs. You're finding CEOs. If you need 4, you're finding 4 CEOs. Okay. So here's what I want to show you. So I realized that in my coaching business, I was making an impact, making great income, but something was missing. Like it wasn't the same, meaning the impact wasn't the same. When I develop a leader in my coaching business, it makes an impact. And most of my clients were outside of the network marketing industry. Entrepreneurs, coaches, people transitioning into entrepreneurship outside of network marketing, want to start a coaching business or get their book done, basically apply the system that they were learning. I'm gifted at helping people get unstuck and implement. So I realized when I coach someone in my network marketing business, when I develop a leader, I'm developing someone who develops leaders, who develop leaders, who develop leaders, who develop people. It's the impact is residual. So not only residual impact, but residual income, leveraged income, generational wealth. And I realized when I looked at what I did in my coaching business, I went, man, what if I got that serious about my network marketing business and stopped treating it like my side thing? Because for 20 years, I built my business on 10 to 20 hours a week. Did you all hear that? Did you all hear that? So 20 years, I built my business 10 to 20 hours a week, but I always mentally treated it like my side thing that was in place to help me replace my full-time income and help others on my team. That was my mindset. As long as I have enough to not get a job coming in from a network marketing business, and I help other people on my team achieve their goals, I was happy with that for 20 years. In 2020, I drew a line in the sand and said, that's no longer enough. It's time for me to go all the way. All 12 rings. Put that in the chat. Hashtag all 12 rings. That means, all right, I'm going all the way to all 12 rings. And we started to skyrocket. Now, my network marketing business had really started to break down in 2019. It got to the point where I was all the way back there. I'd gone all the way up to the second highest position in the company. Level called platinum is the highest position. I got into gold right before platinum and found myself all the way back down to a level called senior director, where barely any recruiting was happening in my team outside of me because I was still in my rhythm. Remember that? Even though I was busy, all these other things pulling at me, the recovering from divorce, putting things in place for my son, all these different things, figuring out where I was going to live, you know, an amount of debt facing me that I had taken on. All these things were happening. I was still following the millionaire schedule. I was doing the minimums in the millionaire schedule. So it still maintained. I was still in the consistency program we had called Performance Club. I was still consistently earning income, still making my 500 to 1,000 plus per month, but nothing else much was happening in my whole business. So when I drew that line in the sand, I said, you know what? I'm going all the way. I'm going to go after all 12 rings. And I said, I first have to relaunch myself. So let me first give you a visual and then I'll show you what happened. So here's a visual of what that looks like. So if you need 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, right? Here's how I look at it. This was my plan. Y'all see this? There's 10 spaces, 10 slots. So, and each of these 4 legs, 4 lines of sponsorship, my mindset is that I'm looking for the 10 strongest people I can develop in each of those legs. So in leg number 1, I'm looking for who's the strongest person I have in leg number 1. I'm staffing my 4 groups. Staffing. As I'm doing my millionaire schedule and working the leadership, the meeting cycle and the recruiting cycle, and I'm bringing someone in, I'm staffing these 4 legs. And I already know it takes 10 recruits to find 1 or 2 or 3 that are willing to work, right? So I'm constantly on double-digit recruiting. But when somebody pops up, say somebody pops up named Pam, guess what? I'm teaching Pam the model, right? And that leads to somebody else, that leads to somebody else, that leads to somebody else, right? In real life, I found Pam who popped up, who'd been around. And then I found a Letitia that popped up, and a Michael that popped up, and Dawn that popped up, right? So here's what happened though. When I drew my line in the sand, remember, I was the only one recruiting. And very little production was happening in the beginning of 2020. The pandemic, all these different things were happening. It's like everything came to a halt. And I wasn't giving my business the energy it needed to launch. So I decided I'm going to relaunch myself. I went on a mad recruiting spree. And I spit it up. I put the energy in, the focus in. And I relaunched myself to the core rank in my business called manager. Every business has a core rank. That's the building block for wherever you want to go. And my company is called manager. If I help 4 people go manager, I move up to the next level.